The Bright Side Chronicles is about to go down with Kerri and Nana. You ready for the show to begin?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. It's almost showtime. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost go time. Let's freaking go.
Let's go is the day. It is Thursday, episode 44 of the Bright Side Chronicles, and I'm coming in live. I'm not sure if Nana will be joining us. He's at PAX East. He's going to try to make it in live from the event in Boston, Massachusetts. But while we wait to see if he joins, I wanted to jump on here and let you guys all know what the Bright Side Chronicles is all about, why Nana and I have this podcast, and what we hope to do while having conversations every Thursday. So we started it because we both recognize the need to share more joy and encourage people to tap into their joy. So often we hear all of this negative information from the news outlets, social media feeds. And we wanted to change the script and share with people, individuals who have found their passion, found their purpose, who are experiencing joy every single day, and how experiencing that joy impacts all areas of their life, whether it's within the work they do, within their relationships, whether it's within the conventions that they attend, which again, that's where Nana is at tonight. So while I wait to see if he joins, I wanted to read something for all of you guys and then share with you the reason I am so passionate about joy. We do not all exist in the same frequency. We may all look like we are here together, but you exist at your frequency and others exist at their frequency. For some, this world is paradise. For others, this world is hell. Only one who attempts to change their frequency can experience the paradise dimension. It's right here coexisting with hell, but you must vibrate higher to see it. So this is why I am super passionate about the Bright Side Chronicles and talking about joy, because joy is inherently a higher vibration. It's a frequency of love. It's a frequency of connection. It's a frequency of abundance, of compassion. And so often we have been habituated and conditioned to experience fear, to look for the worst in situations, to try to control outcomes and other people in order to make sure that we are feeling good and that we're safe. But the reality is that the only work that we were ever meant to do is to learn what brings us joy and how quickly do we need to get there, right? What is it we need to do to get there? Because joy is inherently a frequency that feels light, it feels airy, you feel safe. Whereas fear, shame, guilt, apathy, it's a really dense, low vibration, and it keeps you in suffering, and it keeps people truly in the experience of hell. They feel awful. They don't enjoy what they're experiencing. And so Nana and I have a commitment to not only encourage other people to figure out what it is that brings them joy and to truly step into their passion, but we also embody it. We also show up and we give ourselves permission to do whatever brings us joy in any given moment. For example, Nana right now is dressed up as Mario at PAX East in Boston. He held a meetup and held space for people to dress up however they wanted and to allow themselves to be their unique selves and feel welcomed as themselves rather than conforming or performing in order to be accepted. For me, I love skulls. I love to go for walks. I sing. I do all different things in order to experience joy. And in doing so, I create a life that is abundant. It is filled with connection. It's filled with purpose. It's filled with unexpected things that come up for me at all times. And so on Thursdays, Nana and I typically come on. It's either with ourselves having a conversation about joy, or we have other guests sharing with us what brings them joy. And if anybody wants to comment and let me know what brings them joy, I'd love to have a conversation about that. But the reality is that's our superpower, is perspective, is figuring out when we don't feel joy filled and what do we need to do to get back to that joy as quickly as possible. The other thing is giving ourselves permission to do what feels right for us. Because the truth is, we've all been conditioned to have a set of beliefs that keep us from actually doing some of the things that feel good for us. So, for example, none is black on white. Some people have been brought up to believe that if you are a different race, you guys can't date. That did not feel true for me. And so I did not allow myself to behave based on a belief that some people had. And as a result, I feel joy. Nan is from Ghana. And in his culture, there is beliefs around dyeing your hair or having a certain profession. And as a result, like that makes you successful. And Nana decided, one, he was going to dye his hair. And not only that, he wasn't going to go into the professions that his family and the people that he was brought up with told him he needed to do. He went in and did what felt right for him. And as a result, Nana is super successful in the areas of life because he does what brings him joy, not what him that he has to do. So truly part of living a fully expressed joy-filled life is starting to challenge the beliefs that don't feel true for you. Whether it's you have to wear skirts because the specific religion says that's all you can wear, or whether it's, you know, it really doesn't matter because each of us has a set of beliefs that limits us. All of us have been conditioned by our family, by our society, and this is through no fault of anybody. I'm not here, Nana's not here to blame people or shame people. We're here to give you a different perspective. And as somebody who studies quantum physics, has studied world theology, I can tell you that both Nana and I have experienced time and time again when we allow ourselves to experience joy and do what feels truly good for us without harming anybody else. Well, we operate from a higher frequency, a higher vibration. And that's what we want other people to experience. What feels good for you so you can attract more good to you, because we are magnets, guys. We're energy. The end of the day, when I cease to live in this body, I'm still going to weigh the same. So what makes it so I have movement and I have a heartbeat versus a corpse in the morgue? It's energy. And so if you learn how to manipulate energy, you can learn how to work it for your highest good. And part of manipulating energy, working with energy to co-create, is being in joy, is suspending what beliefs you have been brought up with in order to find beliefs that feel true for you. I do want to preface this by saying there's certain laws. So cause and effect. If I send out negative energy into the world, it has to come back to me. That's just a law of energy. It's a law of vibration, right? So if I'm a jerk to somebody, then I'm inherently going to have that energy come back to me. Maybe not from that person, but certainly in a different experience. And so when Nan and I talk about what brings you joy, what gives you that excitement of waking up in the morning, going to a con, taking pictures of people at the con, singing karaoke, whatever, right? It's what brings you joy that isn't sending out negative energy to other people. And that's an important distinction because the law of cause and effect is always applicable, right? So whether it's sending out positive energy into the world, that's coming back to you. And that's why Nana and I are very passionate about encouraging and holding space for people to give themselves permission to feel joy. Because so often we fear allowing ourselves to be seen, liking cosplay, or in one of my daughter's instances, she loves Marvel and DC and, wearing Batman shirts at school, but fearing being rejected because she doesn't look like the traditional way a girl's supposed to look. The reality is being able to challenge beliefs that keep us from fully expressing ourselves, because when we're fully expressed, we operate at that higher vibration. We operate in a world that just everything seems to work out for us. Things just keep happening. And I'll give you a really good example. Nana, for most people who follow Nana, know that he's a car salesman, and he strives for no less than 20 cars a month. And he knew that he was going to be away for a good part of his working month at a con. So he put it out there that he was going to get a lot of his cars sold before he goes away. And in the beginning, it felt really, really hard for him. He wasn't seeing the results that he had hoped to achieve. But instead of giving up, he kept finding ways to lean into joy. He kept doing the things that make him happy, connect with family, dress up in cosplay. He would do all different things, work out at the gym. And as a result, going into this week, he was set up to achieve his goal, not because he pushed and forced and worked long hours to do so, but because he stayed in joy. He stayed positive. He stayed true to what felt right for him and knew that the outcome was going to work out for himself. And that is why I'm so passionate about living the bright side of life, or at least giving yourself permission to start to work toward experiencing more joy in your life. And it can start small. I work with people all the time who have been habituated or, stuck in thoughts that cause them to feel depressed or have anxiety or feelings of not worthiness or guilt around challenging their beliefs, which is perfectly normal because that's, humans tend to want to conform so that we're not outcasted and rejected. And so something I share with people is, can you, instead of assuming that what I'm saying is right or wrong, give yourself permission to suspend what you think you know. I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong for you. I'm just here to encourage you to challenge what it is that you have learned in your life. And can you suspend what you think you know in order to potentially have a new experience? Because the minute you give your brain this beautiful thing within these 2 ears, permission, it will open up to new possibilities. MMOS8001, hi to you too. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you and your presence. Truly, the work that Nana and I do on showing up for people in love is because we love ourselves and we experience joy. We give ourselves permission to be at joy, do things that bring us joy. And that's truly what Nana and I are incredibly passionate about teaching people is, hi Nawal, how are you doing? Please share in this conversation what brings you joy. I would love to hear. Is I totally lost my train of thought because I got excited. Let's see, what was I saying? Ultimately, I don't know. So I'm just going to go back to the fact that the Bright Side Chronicles was started to empower people to give themselves permission to have a new experience. That's it. You don't have to do big things. You don't have to release all your beliefs. Just, can you start suspending what you think you know, and then giving your brain permission to open up to new experiences? And then what brings you joy? Is it photography? Is it going outside and walking barefoot on the grass? Is it singing in the shower? Is it singing on the street? Is it singing at the gym, which is something I do all the time? And people come up to me and they're like, you're the girl at the gym who sings. I'm like, yeah, I damn Skippy too, because I love to sing and it makes me happy. And so going back to the beginning of this show, I shared with you guys that people truly, oh, I miss you so much. I miss you guys so much. You guys are amazing. And just so you know, I look forward to coming back to visit you soon. Um, Please give my love to Afra because, I can't do it unless she's watching right now and I don't know. But anyway, um, people either exist in hell or heaven. Like people can literally live in heaven and coexist with people who live in hell. And in fact, I will share with you something that I saw by Ram Dass, who I have studied in the past and have profound respect for. And he said, our job as people who are in joy, who exist in a higher vibration, is not to call out the people who exist in a low vibration, who suffer in hell. It's not. People get to have their experience, and you truly do. My job isn't to judge you. If you sit around and operate from a place of depression or anxiety or struggle with addiction, I'm here to love you. I really am. Lord knows I had that experience for much of my life. So I totally get it. It's not to judge you, but I do feel a responsibility having broken free from that matrix, so to speak, and knowing that we can free ourselves by giving ourselves permission to experience more joy, by doing things that bring us peace and make us laugh at ourselves and have a good time. I feel a responsibility to give other people that information so you could consider making a different choice. And if you don't, that's cool too. We all get this unique, amazing journey that allows us to co-create experiences at all times. And it's my hope, having suffered for many years, for people to experience more peace, joy, freedom, lightness of heart, connection, just genuine interactions like Nana and myself have with people at all times. But you don't have to, and that's okay too. Lastly, it's interesting. I just realized this is episode 44. And on March 28th, I'll be celebrating the 60th anniversary of my older sister's transition into another life. And I can't help but be so grateful because in those 6 years that I've experienced the life without Shelly being here physically, and she actually left this earth at the age of 44, I've experienced so much joy and so much freedom and so much peace and so much expansiveness and so much quote unquote heaven on earth. And it is because when she passed away, I decided I was no longer going to subscribe to society's standards and expectations of what a good appropriate person looked like. Because at 44 years old, right, Shelly no longer had an opportunity to decide for herself. So I was going to live fully expressed for both of us. And I've done that. And I've done it. And I have reaped the benefits of a beautiful life. I have meaningful connections with my teenage daughters. I met Nana at a gas station after I put on paper what I wanted in a partner. I have connections with a sister of mine who I didn't know if I would ever be able to be close with. So again, I hope that this show, and I know Nana feels this way too because we talk about it a lot. I really do hope that this show inspires people to give themselves permission to do what feels right for them, to buck tradition, to buck what they used to do, and just allow themselves to experience more joy and do what feels right for them, just because it feels good for you. But if not, what I will say is, life presents us with unexpected circumstances. For me, it was my oldest sister passing away, um, with an opportunity to look at our life and say, at the end of my life, can I look back at my life and say I lived fully, that I have no regrets? And that's what me and Nana hope for people. We talk about it once in a while, and the reality is he and I have zero regrets, literally. Every single day I show up, I'm curious. I get to meet amazing people in the Middle East, in any place I'm at, and connect with them. And I get to have fun with a person who I respect and admire, who I know respects and admires me equally. And that's what we want for people. So again, The reason the Bright Side Chronicles exists is one, to challenge the narrative of fear-based messaging, news, because all of that is literally created to keep people in conformity, in formation, so to speak. But secondly, because we know that we're energy. Nana and I know we're energy. We'll both tell you in any conversation we manifest our reality. And we want to empower and encourage other people with tools and stories from like-minded individuals to be able to empower themselves so that you guys can, in fact, know through your own experience that what Nana and I say is truth, and in turn embody joy so that the people that the lives that you touch in your world start to give themselves permission to experience joy. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I wish you all a beautiful evening. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all immensely, and I look forward to being back here in 2 weeks. I will not be here next week as I'm going to be in Broadway, and Nana's going to be at Boston Anime Convention for anybody who wants to connect with Nana and get pics. So we'll be back in 2 weeks to celebrate episode 45. And until then, keep chasing joy. Keep giving yourself permission to do what feels right for you. Allow yourself to be fully expressed, however that looks. And most importantly, don't concern yourself with the good opinion of anybody else, because at the end of the day, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and know that you showed up with love and compassion and had a damn good time doing it, then you are truly a living example of what we are meant to be and why we were created in the first place.